adding of fractions with the same denominator. So let's take a look at example 1. 1 over 7 plus 2 over 7. So if we have 1 over 7 and we want to add 2 over 7, okay, you can see that we already have a common denominator of 7. So the second step would be the following. We're going to rewrite this as one denominator of 7 since it's a common denominator, and then we're going to take this 1 and then we're going to add 2. At step 3, when we take 1 and add 2, we get the value of 3 over 7. Now, at this point, we have to ask ourselves, can we simplify this any further? Well, the answer is no, so therefore the answer is going to be 3 over 7. Okay, now let's take a look at the second example. We have 1/8 plus 3/8. So let's go ahead and write that first. So we have 1 over 8 plus 3 over 8. Now again, they share a common denominator, so we're going to rewrite that with a common denominator of 8. And since we're adding, we're going to take 1, the first numerator, and add 3. And so therefore, we're going to get step 3. 1 plus 3 is going to give us 4 over 8. Okay? So now when we ask ourselves 4 over 8, is that simplified to lowest terms? Well, the answer is no. Okay, now one way of doing that is what we did earlier. We want to make sure that we can break this down. Now, these numbers we might be able to easily simplify from the numbers that we're looking at. But in case they're bigger numbers, we would take the prime factorization. So the prime factorization of 4 is 2 times 2. So we have 2 times 2 here. Prime factorization of 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. Now if you notice that there's a common 2 in the numerator, so one of those 2's gets crossed out, we have 1 remaining. And the same thing, another of those 2 gets crossed out. So in the numerator we have 1 times 1, and the denominator is 1 times 1 times 2, which is equal to 2. Or we can say that the greatest factor that they both have in common is 2. So if we divided both of, or 4, so the greatest common factor between those two is 4. So it's another way of being able to do this. So we can say that 4 divided by 4 is going to give us 1, and 8 divided by 4 is going to give us 2. Now, the step that I had just done works well when you already know these numbers and you're able to reduce it that quickly. Now, if they are bigger numbers, then you're going to want to go this route. So what I mean by that is, let's say if you had 15 over, let's say, 27, right? Then in that case, if you know the factors, the greatest factor, you can simplify. Otherwise, you would have to find the prime factorization. So just like I stated before, if we take 15, the prime factorization of 15 is 3 times 5. The prime factorization for 27 is 3 times 9, which is 3 and 3. So that's 3 times 3 times 3. And again, when we simplify this, we're going to simplify one of the 3's. And therefore, this would then be 5 over 9 as a reduced fraction. So again, it's up to you how you're going to simplify it, but this is one way to break it down when you're dealing with larger numbers.